Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today I'm just on Lichess, just don't know. Before I uh, do that though, I would like to talk to you about my YouTube channel. Thank you for giving me 100 subscribers, I really do appreciate it. The next milestone would obviously be 200. So today I'm just commentating on, live commentating on myself playing just a normal game whilst eating raisin and white chocolate. Very good actually. Well, I'll see you after the game starts. Oh, the game has started. There we go. Um, let's see how I do. D4 and knight f6, c4. I have to play the Budapest. Kind of have to. Now, the point of this gambit is when he takes, play knight g4 and attack these two squares, and I get rapid development, all centered around attacking this and attacking any other weak squares or weak diagonals that he has. One of these. So now he has two main moves, knight f3 or bishop f4, like this. He's gone for the ugly looking, I admit, g3. Very interesting, since it does none of those. He completely gives up the pawn to my heart's content. And I'll play bishop to c5, attacking this, and he has to play e3. He can't even do what he wanted to do, the fianchetto. He has to play e3. In which case I would probably take this pawn or do something else with it. And I don't know what it is yet, but we'll see. And e3 attacks my knight like this, so I would have to, well, take the knight, no, take the pawn like that. Now the World Cup is going on right now. Interesting. Poland versus Saudi Arabia. Oh, well, I won't spoil anything for you. That would be mean. In terms of rating, both of us seem to be about the same. Negligible difference. And we'll see what he does. E3, whether it's this, whether it's something radical, whether it's something centrist. Okay, well, fine, he has to play e3, doesn't he? I mean, he can play some hoovering that's going on in the house. He can play knight h3, just defending this, and that would just go about normally, like this, maybe, and other things. I honestly don't know why he's thinking so much right now. Can he see something that I can't? Never mind, he just fought for 5 hours and decided to play the most basic move. Maybe he was thinking um, something like astronomical. You know, it's clear that he um, it's clear that he hasn't really been in this opening that much. He hasn't experienced it. So, um, well, very good for me. That is. Since he is in unfamiliar waters, right? A3, clear idea to play b4, and of course I respond to it by playing a5. He plays b3 with the idea of a fianchetto, which there's nothing wrong with. I can now play the slightly annoying looking queen f6. Well, I could have done that last move, but I'll do it now. The threat is knight f3 with a check and a discovered attack, and I win the rook in the corner. So to deal with that, he has to either play bishop to b2 or rook to a2, one of those two moves. And well, if he doesn't, then I would rather not talk about what happens. He's gone with rook a2 instead of bishop b2 because he likes his bishop being protected, which makes sense. What to do now? Of course, I think I should castle. That would well, make the most sense to me. I can also play d6, but I do have a potential rook left for later via rook a6 and rook h6, and it's not easy to deal with that. So I want to keep my options open. If I play d6, I block that out completely. So yeah, I'll play castles, I guess. Well, it is quite tempting to do the AlphaZero stuff with h5, h4, and h3. I could do that, honestly. Theoretically, that is. But do I want to? I don't really want to. Too risky, because if I fail, my structures. Oh, come on! That was a mouse slip. I meant to castle. That was very annoying. Thank you so much. Very fair from him. If he ever does a mouse slip and accepts it, I would have to. I mean, offers me a take back. He would have to. So what happened right now was I made a mouse slip. Right, I meant to move my king there, but I went there instead. I offered him a take back. He accepted it, and I got very annoyed. But it is what it is. Bishop g2 makes a lot of sense. Just your normal fianchetto type of move. Now I'm gonna have to play something like active, since if I don't, it'll give him enough time to recover and get back into the game. For example, g5. In fact, I might play that. There you go. It looks brilliant. The idea is if he decides to take play like this, queen takes d5, right? Then I play rook to d8, and taking the bishop would result in this fork. So he would have to, after takes rook d8, he would have to move his queen back somewhere, like to e4 or whatnot, and I would play knight d3 and completely demolish him, because his king would be misplaced, my queen would be coming in, and all these things. So arguably he's dealt with it correctly by just doing this, the pawn takes. So now what to do? I can play bishop to g4, but then he plays f3, and I run into a few problems there. So maybe I can play bishop f5, and after e4, the idea would be to play rook e8, and if he ever decides to take the e5 square, the bishop, sorry, I would check, give a double check. He would either go here or there. If he goes to f1, then the rook goes all the way down to e1, and it doesn't work for him. I win the queen. If he goes to after bishop f5, e4, rook to e8, takes, check. If he goes instead to d2, like that, do I have any response to that? I think so. I can play queen takes on f2, and I can either win the rook or do something much more devastating than that. If he goes knight to e2, then yeah, I think bishop f5 does deserve some merit. This move, it does. It really has to. So I'll go for it. And if e4, then rook e8, just pummeling, attempting to just destroy him. So we'll have to watch and see what happens. e4, rook e8, bishop b2 instead. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Because I can, well, check. Then he takes my knight, then I take his bishop. Then if we swap off, I would end up with a bishop pair and down a pawn. So, I mean, it probably roughly cancels out because I can easily win the pawn back. Knight d3 takes. No, I mean, of course I'll take this. What can he realistically do here? What can he actually do? He doesn't have anything much. It's not really scary at all. I can also, well, I can't do this actually because he would just take and nothing would change really. Nothing significant. And now, if I don't check, then I'll lose my chance since he just takes this and, sorry, he just takes this and plays knight f3. So I'd have to play knight d3 right now if I want to even have a glimpse of an advantage. So that's what I'm going to go forward and do, like that. So I expect him to be taking the knight. If he doesn't and goes like to f1, then that leads to disaster quite easily because I'll just take this, move my knight back, and be a piece up. So he has to take this, then I would have to take that. If I don't, and I go ahead and do this, and take his knight, and he goes rook to b2, then I take this, and he takes my bishop. Oh, okay, I could do that, technically. I could. Wouldn't be bad at all. So, in other words, I don't even have to take the bishop. I can take the queen first if I wanted to. Take the queen, he takes my queen. And if I take this, it would be equal material. And then he would play knight to c3. The only problem would be that my pawns are crippled. So, in order to not allow him to cripple my pawn structure, I may have to go queen takes b2. Let's say this happens though. I take this, he goes there. So now I could just go back to d3 like this and argue that somehow I'm about to win this pawn. He would have to move the bishop back and oh, I could do that. That looks really good. It's annoying as well. Annoying AF, very annoying. So yeah, maybe I don't even have to take his bishop before taking his queen. I can take his queen right now. Then of course he would have to take my queen. Then I would take his knight. Then he would play like rook b2 or something. Rook b2 makes the most sense. Then I would just go back to d3. He would retreat with his own bishop, and then I would take on a3 for free. I'll do that. It makes the most sense. There. He takes my queen, I take his knight. I can take his bishop, but as I said earlier, my pawn structure cripples. So I take the knight first, and he has to move his rook in a space where he attacks the bishop. Otherwise, I'd take his own bishop for free, and well, I'm a piece up. So okay, he's gone to a1, which makes a lot of sense to be honest. And bishop c2, I could play that. I have mixed feelings about it. Not sure. I could also go to d3. Okay, well, this situation, maybe it makes the most sense to take this, because then I win a pawn back. If I don't, then I have no significant advantage, since rook c1 takes. Yeah, slight miscalculation there. Very unfortunate. Not my problem. That was a joke. So let's see what I can do. I can take this though, to be honest, if I wanted to. Oh, then he just goes bishop g5 and wins the bishop. Then I, oh, then, okay, he can play bishop c3. Yeah, it's not easy. Rook c1, takes. Yeah, it's very tough. In this case, I guess I take that then, and go with the crippled pawns, and hope that my majority on the queen side gets me something here. It should. It just should. Since I can play 97, put my knight on c5, blockade, do something there, and get a good game. I'll play that. The reason I'm not bothered with checking him and misplacing his king is because his king realistically wants to be in the center, as you see now clearly. So I won't be helping him with that. I'll instead reroute my pieces to where they need to be. Maybe the bishop there was better. The reason I put it here though is two reasons. Number one, anytime he wants to come there, it's very hard for him to do anything on this side since my bishop's there. Number two, I block this pawn completely, so he can never do anything cheeky to activate his bishop. So his bishop kind of is forced to do something on the king side. It can't easily switch to the queen side unless he actively moves it around like this and takes some time up. At the moment, I really desperately want to play b5 and a4 to secure a passed pawn. Now that a passed pawn is really good in endgame since it forces his pieces to all play around the passed pawn, and whilst he's occupied with the passed pawn, I can do other things on the king side. So it almost works as a deflection, sort of. Timing wise, he's up by a whole 2 minutes, or 1.5 minutes now. So I shouldn't be concerned about timing, especially since I get 5 seconds per move as increment. So we'll have to see what he does. You play f4 as well, like this if you wanted to, f4, whatever. He can play e4. Okay, rook c1. Very clear he wants to do something like that. I'm just gonna do what I said I would do and play b5 and a4. I have nothing to worry about since my bishop just is in a perfect position. Just defends everything, literally. Next, I would have to, after a4, play my knight to c5. Very important square, because it, first of all, prevents him from ever going knight f2, knight e4, and attacking my bishop, since I just take his knight. And secondly, supports the queen side, and also blocks the c-file further, so his rooks become even more useless and even more inclined to defending the pawn and being distracted by it, whilst I do something on the second rank, either like this or whatever. So one thing that's really important in endgames is long-term planning. I would want to get into a situation where this pawn is off, my knight is there, like this. I'll highlight it in yellow. My pawn is there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Right, knight f4. The question is, what order do I put it in? If I play a4, takes, he can play knight d3 and prevent me from playing knight c5 ever, right? So I could do this, but then once I play a4 and he plays b4 and annoys my knight, but that's not too bad since I can just come back and have an easier route to glory. So I think a4 first would be better. I mean, knight c5 first. Oh, but then he just immediately challenges me, doesn't he? And prompts the swap. So a4 it is then, first a4. Like that. Since if I play knight c5, he swap. Okay, now he's really asking for the exchange here. Very clear. Couldn't be more conspicuous. So now knight c5 it is. Then he goes to d3. Oh, but then I take this, however. So it's not easy for him, is it? Or at least I'm trying to make it not easy for him. Let's go knight c5. Perhaps if I were him, I would swap off on a4 and play knight d3. b4 is a mistake since I just retreat to a6 and not only do I have a passed pawn, I have a protected passed pawn. So, alright, that's what he's done. I'll take back this way to make sure my passed pawn is as wide as possible, so it's further away from the other side, so it's easier for me to coordinate an attack on his king side. It's not always how it works, but in this situation, it should be in the long term. So now my pawn is adequately protected by my knight, and if he decides to disadequate this protection, then I would have to go with it. I guess I have nothing else, really. Really annoying. But I think I'm in control of this game, at least for now, since I haven't lost anything. The only drawback here is this. That does look a little bit ugly, and he might look to exploit it right now if he has the time and effort to use for that, which he probably won't, since I have a pawn which is literally about to promote itself, to annex itself onto the a1 square. So it wouldn't be easy for him. Maybe I can play knight b3 now, rook c2, and then rook e8 perhaps. Alright. Poland versus Saudi Arabia. Still going. Oh, okay, it finished now. I won't tell you who won, you check yourself. I can go knight b3 or give up and accept the trade. I think knight b3 makes the most sense. I really think my knight is better than his. And one important thing to consider when trading pieces is my piece better than his? Is it worth me giving up my piece for his? And I don't think so. So knight b3 then, like this. There, and I have 1 minute left on my clock. He has 1 minute above that left on his clock. I attack the rook, of course. He would probably move to c4, I suspect. I hope he doesn't. Well, honestly, I don't mind where he goes. Maybe d1, actually. But, well, he's going to have to move his rook somewhere at some point. Then I would go rook to b8 and strengthen the knight. And also, one good thing about my knight being there is that it protects the queening square. Protecting the queening square is essential to queen your pawn, since now, when my pawn goes there, yes, he can take it, but my knight would take his rook, so there's less benefit for him to take the pawn, which puts him in even more of a dilemma, and then he loses material. So yeah, he has to move his rook somewhere. He could go to c6 if he's feeling wacky, and I recommend he doesn't, since, well, it's just too much. It's overextension here. But I can easily do this and gain back the pawn. Rook c2 has been played. I'll go rook b8 and go with my plan. Be careful, watch out, since I have a threat. That threat is knight to d4 check. And after the check and he takes this, my rook is free to take his rook. You see, it's very important to pick out and understand and decipher tactical patterns for those of you who are like below 1600, I would say, especially for you guys, since these tactical patterns are even more common in your games, since your opponents are more prone to mistakes. Here he should play rook c to b2, perhaps. He can play rook to c6, he can play that, he can play, well, anything that either gets him out of this check or protects his rook. King d1, for example, does get him out of this check. He's gone rook b2 instead. And the move doesn't make no sense in terms of, it does make some sort of sense, you know. Now I can play bishop a3 and move his rook there. I think the a3, pushing his rook to a2, and that's just an ugly square for his rook to be on. Look at that. I mean, that's just ghastly. I will continue with rook to a4. Now, all that's left is I need to bring this lad here into the game somehow. Don't know where or how, but somewhere, somehow. Maybe I wasn't too effective in my resource allocation, because I've just let his bishop protect his own pawn, which isn't ideal for me. But on the plus side, I can play king there and play f5, king f6, and get my king into the game finally, without him taking a pawn for free. So in the end, it wasn't that bad. Of course, here I regret it. I should have gone here. Sorry, I should have gone here rather than there, and take this for free. But this isn't bad as well. I can still get my king to a semi-useful position on f6. Alright, f3, not too bad, I suppose. I'll play f5 to get a foothold on the center, and he might play g4. He's gone f4 instead. Right, fine, whatever. I'll go rook to e8, perhaps. There. Or, okay, I'll move my king up first, just to prevent any knight e5s from coming in and being annoying. Let's see what I can do now. I think I should play rook to e8 and threaten knight e4, and after well, rook e8 doesn't have as much merit anymore now that he's escaped the potential fork. Let's see. What can I do? h5, h4. I'll go for it. Fine, I'll do it. h3 by him. Rook e8 anyways, I'll still play it. I'll still go for it, since it is a little bit of a nuisance. Oh, come on! Oh no, I ruined it. Oh no. How did I miss that? Yeah, well, that taught me a new lesson. Always have time to spare. Because now I'm just gone for. I'm done. Oh, I ruined it for myself. Very unfortunate. He has made a slight misjudgment, giving my rook some space to play. Now maybe rook c3 by him could be effective. Not saying it is, but has a chance of doing so. But at this point, I've already lost it. It's really, it's gone. I let it slip for no reason. Very unfortunate. I was doing so well. But these things, they do happen. Wait a minute. Did he just do that? Oh, it's not really too bad for him, I guess. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna have to throw in the towel soon. Let's go here. Perhaps some sort of hope of him misplacing his rook, doing something that I did. Never mind. He is handling it quite well. Rook there. Attack that. Desperate last attempt. Never mind. Once again, he's dealing with it really well. Now that is a move. Of course, I take it. Bishop e7. Knight b3 next. Oh well. All he has to do is bring the knight there and play d6, and I've lost. But his time is still morbidly low. Morbidly underweight, if you wanted to say that. Very tempting to say. Okay. He still does need to be careful, in the loosest sense of the word, since I am still in the game somehow. Don't know how. I'm making it harder for him than he wants, it seems. Oh, that was a good move. Very good move by him. Oh well. I let it slip anyways. It wasn't expected, but these things happen. Oh, maybe I should have taken. Oh well, it's lost anyways. Knight b2 now, perhaps. He could if he was feeling very counterproductive for some apparent reason. Knight e2. Threatening knight c1. Like that. And it's not easy anymore, somehow. I don't know how I've done that. Doesn't mean I'm winning or I came back or anything. That would be nonsense. But I have some hope. Little bit. Of course, hope is not enough by itself. Let's go back fully. Right. a2. Alright, maybe that was a mistake. Bishop to g7. It's very close to this game, very close. He has to take this now at this point. Yeah, he has. Then he would take this, I suppose. I just need my knight to do something for once. And doing something it is. Knight there. Planning something, perhaps. Anything. Oh, what? But how? How did I win? How did I won. I won that game. Can you believe that? How did I win? I'll look at the analysis. In fact, I'll come back to see if I was ever winning here. I was completely winning here. Oh, I had to play knight c5. Look, guys, I missed, according to the engine. The computer says I should have gone here. And if he takes, I take here. I stop off everything, go rook b2, and promote, or come close to promoting. I missed that, and this happened. And now the computer says +6, +7. Absolutely ridiculous. How did I survive that? Here, I went around, did some stuff, and then here he's still completely winning. f6, king there. I got very lucky though. His mistake was letting my king get in there. 1 second. Apparently f takes was the best bet anyways. After this, he's still completely winning, honestly. He is still winning. He went there instead. He was still winning before his time ran out. Now, what would he have done? Like this, this or something? Yeah. I would probably. Well, of course the computer says play this, but he wouldn't have found that. He had 8 seconds. He had 8 seconds to play his move. He would have gone there. Let's be honest. I would take. He would take. I would take this, and he would go f5, right? And it's not completely hopeless, since after I inevitably he promotes, and I inevitably take the pawn, and he takes my knight, and we get into, let's say, this position, right? There was still a major chance for me to draw. This position is a draw, since after this and that's a draw, right? You can't checkmate with a bishop. So yeah, there was still a chance of him drawing. Of course, he would still maybe win, but with 8 seconds on your clock, look, he had 8 seconds here. That's why he lost. He lost some time. He wouldn't have found most of these moves. Trust me, I've played with 8 seconds left on my clock. I find none of the good moves. But that's crazy. How did I do that? Anyways, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, then, well, you know what to do. Thank you very much, and have a great day.